You know, if you were to ask me to define my life over the past few years, I would probably relate it to three words of a movie that I loved: Fast and Furious. Because I lived full out and I would try to be in as many places as I could. I would look at the frequent flyer miles and I would think how busy and how great life is. But you know, sometimes life makes us stop and have to look at life. Some of you know that in late October, 1st of November, I went in to have the pre-op done so that I could have my left hip replaced. And when they came back, they told me they could not clear me for the surgery because I needed to go see a cardiologist. And they said, there's nothing to worry about. We just want you to go have it checked out. So I went to the cardiologist and they put me through a battery of tests and came back and told me that I had some blockage in what they thought were three of the arteries of my heart. So on November the 12th, I had double bypass surgery. And I'm in the mode of healing right now and I'm doing great. I feel stronger, I feel better every day. But let me tell you what's happened here. It's been a wake-up call for me. And life to me anymore is not about fast and furious. It's about listening. It's about learning. It's about hearing what life is saying to me. Because in many ways, what Dr. Sony, which was the cardiologist that I went to, told me, he said, you need to be happy. Because if we had not had the left hip, we probably would have never discovered what was going on with your arteries. And you would have been a walking heart attack waiting to happen. And I got to tell you something. I get up every day with a new attitude. I get up every day realizing I've been given the gift of life. And you know, no longer do I want to live my life in the mode of fast and furious. And I'm going to tell you something about some of you. That's your life. You live fast and furious. Every day you're full out. Every day there's so much to do. And every day what you do is, rather than listening to life, you let life control you. So little did I know when I started talking about what I wanted to do this month, about what would be happening to me. But I'm such a big proponent of celebration that I came up back in October with the concept of doing this month on celebration, because December to me is all about celebration. But I want to take celebration today to a different level. Because what celebration is about, it's all about recharging the human spirit. And the question is, do you really take time to celebrate the life that you have? Look at our thought. When you don't take the time to celebrate, you deny your life a moment to rebuild your internal reservoir of self-motivation. Serious question for you. How many days are you tired? How many days do you feel overwhelmed? How many days are you frustrated? How many days are you stressed? How many days do good things happen because you're fast and furious, you don't take time to pause and give your life the right to celebrate the success, the achievements you're having. And you see, when you do that, you don't allow your spirit time to rebuild your internal reservoir of self-motivation. And this is why this subject today on the power of celebration is so important to me, because you've got to give your life time to rebuild that reservoir of self-motivation. Self-motivation is what allows you to relax. Self-motivation is what allows you to slow down. Self-motivation is what allows you to pause and see the good that is happening in your life. So let's put two words in front of us. Celebration. Look at my definition, and you know in my definitions, the second word is always one of the most powerful. So celebration to me is a pause. It means you stop for a moment. It's a pause in the routine of life where you take time to rejoice in the good that has happened. I was having a conversation a little earlier this morning, and I was talking with a young lady, and we were talking about Fast and Furious. And we were talking about the pace of her life. And we were talking about that every day seems to be almost like a rat race for her. And I asked you, are you tired? She says, yeah, but I just keep going. Are you frustrated? Yeah, but I got things to do. You ever find yourself overwhelmed or stressed? Yeah, but I only have so much time to get things done. And what she's missing in her life is that pause in her life where she takes the time to rejoice in the good that has happened and is happening in her life. She's missing the power of celebration. Achievement. Big word. Important word. The feeling. Because achievement is a feeling. It's the feeling of accomplishment that comes with completing something that brings growth to your life. Do you know that your life can have success and you can miss it? Do you know that your life can have moments of joy and you can miss it? Do you know that life can have moments where you really feel high, but you miss it? Why? Because you're living fast and furious, and you're not taking the time to pause. You're not taking the time to celebrate. Celebrate what? The achievement, the feeling of accomplishment that comes when you're completing something that brings growth to your life. Now, understand this. Every year of your life is about four things. It's about growth. It's about maintenance. It's about retreat. And it's about self-destruction. Do you know that the only time growth ever really gets a foothold and pushes you forward is when you're living at a pace you can manage? And you have those times where you pause. You have those times where you reflect. You have those times where you slow down and you celebrate the success that your life is going through. I'm going to tell you something. You can experience success and not grow from it. Because until you can slow down and really celebrate the moment, celebrate the accomplishment, celebrate the success, it's just more energy being put out. Your life is also about maintenance. And you know what maintenance is to me? We run so fast, fast and furious, until life forces us to slow down. I mean, you've had times in your life where you've been running so fast and your life forces you to slow down because you're tired, because you're overwhelmed, because you just don't seem to have the energy. Do you know how many people I talk to like this? whose life is full out, and they miss so much because they don't slow down and pause to allow their reservoir of self-motivation to replenish itself. There's retreat. You know what retreat is? It's procrastinating. You know what retreat is? It's knowing what you need to do with your life and giving yourself permission not to do it. And so many people believe that that's okay, but it's not okay. Because every time you retreat, you set up a detour for your life. Every time you retreat, you add layers of clutter to your life. And then there's self-destruction. Self-destruction is where you reach a point where you just don't care. Now, you think, that's not people and that's not me. But I'm going to tell you something. When you don't listen to your body telling you how tired you are, when you don't listen to your physicalness tell you how stressed you are, when you go against everything you know you need to be doing, that's self-destruction. So my question to you is simple. Which one of these four do you think you live in the most? Growth, maintenance, retreat, or self-destruction? Because I'll promise you something, one of those four becomes the primary design for your life. So understand this. Celebration is about recharging the human spirit. All of us are going to get tired. All of us are going to feel overwhelmed. All of us are going to be overstressed. Why? Because we push ourselves. We live that pace of fast and furious. And we don't understand the human spirit needs to be recharged. And when you and I pause, when we take that time to celebrate life, when we take that time to enjoy life, when we take that time to pause and look around and see the good and slow our life down to a pace we can manage, then we are recharging the human spirit. You see, celebration is a party where your mind and emotions come together to celebrate your achievement. There's so many of you that don't take time to celebrate the achievements. You notice it, but you don't celebrate it. You think about it, but you don't celebrate it. And without that point of celebration, without that time to recharge, without you slowing down, all you're doing is wearing yourself out more, because your spirit, your inner motivation needs to be recharged. I believe this. Life always offers you four things. Lessons to build on. Now, do you think if you're living fast and furious, you can miss the lessons? I think you know the answer to that. The answer is yes. If you miss the lessons, do you take away celebration? Do you take away that point of pausing long enough to enjoy the moment, to enjoy the success, to enjoy the achievement? And I think you know the answer is yes. Life always offers you lessons to build on. And every time you pause, every time you learn from that lesson, that is recharging your self-motivation. That is replenishing your reservoir of internal energy. Life also offers you increased opportunities to turn into adventure. If you're living fast and furious, do you think you can miss opportunities? How many times have you told yourself, man, I should have done that? Or, you know what? I should have listened to that. Or how many times have you told yourself, I really blew it? Why? Because you're fast and furious. Because you're moving so fast, you can't see the signs along your life. And the interesting thing about opportunities, if you bypass it, you don't get it again. Because an opportunity is only seen, only understood when you're moving at a pace where you see the possibility. And the possibility causes you to slow down. And you look inside that possibility and you see if there's an opportunity for you. Folks, when you're fast and furious, you can miss the opportunities. If you miss the opportunities, you don't get the lessons that are there for your life. And all you're doing is wearing yourself out and emptying your inner reservoir of self-motivation. You're weakening your human spirit. Life also offers you faith in the midst of moments of uncertainty. Do you understand that the more you live fast and furious, the more doubts you're going to have? Do you understand that the more your life is fast and furious, the more you're going to worry about your life? Do you understand that the faster your life is, the more you're going to deal with uncertainty? Because when you're fast and furious, you lose the inner spirit where you have that belief, that trust, and that faith in yourself. Why? Because everything is about doing more. Everything is about filling your calendar. Everything is about overloading your life with things to do. And the more you do that, the more you lose that belief, the more you lose that trust, the more you lose that faith in you, and you open up your life to doubting yourself and worrying about everything and giving uncertainty control of your life. I also believe that life also offers you encouragement to draw from. Do you understand what self-motivation is? It's encouragement. Do you understand what fills your inner spirit, your inner reservoir of energy? It's belief. It's trust. It's faith. And I can't say this to you strong enough. When your belief, your trust, and your faith come together, that's what creates your inner reservoir, providing you with self-motivation. And one of the byproducts of self-motivation is confidence. And do you understand that confidence is encouragement? It's believing that you can. It's trusting that I can go forward in my life. It's the faith that I can step out and take that risk. Because when you're living with the power of celebration, when you're taking time to pause, when you're taking time to reflect on the good, on the achievement of the success of your life, that brings encouragement to you that there's still more than I can achieve. So, look at this with me. In the midst of our hectic, your life ever hectic? In the midst of your busy life, your life ever busy so that you're so busy being busy, you don't know what you're busy doing? In the midst of our hectic, our busy life, we must, not that we should, not that we could, not that we'll try. We must always find the time to stop and enjoy the greatness of life's moments. How many moments in life have you missed because you were fast and furious? How many great things have you not taken the time to celebrate because you were fast and furious? When you don't pause to celebrate, you lose the breath of increased inner spirit it brings to you. I'm going to tell you something. When you learn the power of motivation, you learn how to breathe in life. When you live in fast and furious, you're always trying to catch your breath. Why? Because the pace of your life is controlling you. You're not controlling the pace of your life. In the midst of our hectic, busy life, you must always find the time to stop and enjoy the greatness of life's moments. You understand when I tell you that moments come and go, right? And I can miss the moments in Fast and Furious. And when you don't pause, when you don't stop to celebrate the moments, when you don't pause to celebrate, you lose the breath of increased inner spirit it brings to you. And what does that breath do? It breathes new life into you. It breathes encouragement. It breathes celebration. So, why don't we stop and celebrate life's moments? Here's what I've learned. Scattered. Too much to get done. Been here? When you have more to do than time to do it, you will lose the time to celebrate the success your life achieves. How many times have you had victory, but you didn't have time to celebrate because you got to get to the next thing? How many times have you looked around your life and all you see are more stacks of clutter to deal with? Now, I'm going to put this out there for you, and I hope that you'll remember. The last part of April, first part of May, I'm going to do another one of my small group retreats that are limited to 15 people. And it's going to be on decluttering your clutter. Too many of you live with your life scattered. You live with your life out of control. You live just trying to play catch up with life. You live with life controlling you, and you don't know where to start. So April 28th through May 3rd, 15 of us, and I hope you'll be one of them, are going to gather, and we're going to talk about learning how to declutter your clutter. Because when you have more to do than time to do it, you will lose the time to celebrate the success your life achieves. Why don't we stop and celebrate life's moments? There seems to be too many emotions to work through. Do you understand that the faster your pace, the more emotional outbursts you're going to have? Do you understand when you live at such a pace, you increase the negative emotions in your life, and the more your negative emotions, the less time there is to celebrate. Because negative emotions steal the positive emotions. Negative emotions tell you, you got so much to do, you don't have time to stop. Folks, there are emotions attached to every event. But when your emotions are only what you're dealing with, you will block your mind's ability to celebrate the moments of success. Your mind needs celebration. It needs celebration to recharge its creativeness. It needs celebration to keep your mind clear and not scattered. Scattered is an emotion that blocks your mind's ability to continue to show you the opportunities. Why don't we stop and celebrate life's moments? Others might not understand you're celebrating. You see, one of the things I find interesting is that when we live fast and furious, we tend to surround ourselves with other people who live fast and furious. Why? Because they give us permission to live fast and furious. But there's always that handful of people around our life that keep saying to us, you need to slow down. I had people around my life who kept telling me, why are you doing this? Why do you think you have to do so much? And I wouldn't listen to them because there was so much to do. There was so much to achieve. There was more to do than what was right in front of me. And I didn't realize that in not listening to life and not listening to the people who see my fast and furious, I continue to wear myself out. I continue to not listen to life. I continue to miss the opportunities. If all we do is listen to the others who live the fast and furious pace, we miss the celebrations of life. When you need the approval of others to celebrate, they control how you feel about the success you have had. You ever had someone tell you, take a moment and celebrate this moment and let's get on to the next one? Yes, there's always more for your life. But sometimes what you think is the more is not the more that's really there. It's that detour that you're creating with Fast and Furious. Your mind needs time to recharge. Your spirit needs to be able to refill that inner reservoir or self-motivation. And to do that, you've got to be able to tell some people no. You've got to understand that if you give other people permission to establish the pace of your life, you're giving them control of your life, and you're going to miss the celebrations and the moments of success. Why don't we stop and celebrate life moments? Procrastination controls our decision making. When you're a procrastinator, and many of you are, had another conversation this morning with a gentleman. And he said, the thing that I need to look at is the fact that I am a procrastinator. And I said, what do you think procrastination does to you? He says, well, it doesn't allow me to complete things. It just creates more clutter. It creates more stacks. I find myself more scattered. I don't know where to start. And when I don't know where to start, what do? I just create more stacks. As I create more stacks, I have to speed my life up just to try to manage the clutter. When you procrastinate, you will always be playing catch up. Sound familiar? Which means there's little time to celebrate. How many times have you thought, man, I just need to pause, and breathe. And then you look around and you see the stacks and you tell yourself, I just don't have time to do that. And what do? You take your life from celebration. You take your life and you put it in a self-destructive mode. So please take this. This is just more than words. This is a fact. This is a lesson. This is a truth. This is something you need to practice. Celebration is a big part of staying motivated. You ever challenged with self-motivation? Seriously. You ever challenged with keeping your inner reservoir of positive energy filled? You ever find yourself slipping into negative moments? You ever find yourself at the end of a day wondering what you've achieved? Have you ever had a moment of success and you didn't take time to celebrate it? And in not taking the time to celebrate it, you lost the energy, the positive energy it was bringing to your life. Celebration is power. It's power because it's a big part of you staying motivated. When you miss celebration, you weaken yourself from the inside out. So, life. And you remember my definition of life. That space and time between the day you were born and the day you're going to die. That's what life is. Life is about making sure there's time for you to celebrate your achievement. So, big question, do you do that? Do you really take time to celebrate the goodness of your life? Do you take time to stop and pause and celebrate the other people in your life who are there as a strength for your life? Or are you so fast and furious that you don't have time to celebrate? And when you don't have the time to celebrate, you put yourself on a course of self-destruction. So let's put the two words together. Celebrating achievement. And again, look at my second word. The joy. What's joy? It's happiness. And do you understand that when you don't take time to celebrate, you don't take time for happiness? What's joy? It's fulfillment. It's feeling good about you. It's feeling good about what you're achieving with your life. What's joy? It's the freedom that allows you to celebrate you. Celebrating achievement. The joy that goes with knowing you have stretched yourself, you've pushed yourself, you have taken yourself forward and discovered more about what you can do when you remove the limitations. I wish I could help you really understand this. But when you're living fast and furious, you really do miss the joy. You steal the happiness from your life. You don't have time to celebrate, to feel the fulfillment of your success. And rather than being free because your life is pulling itself forward, it's stretching yourself with positive beliefs, it's trusting yourself, it's having faith in yourself. It's you putting limitations on your life because all you can see is the more that there is, but you don't understand that more that you're looking at because you're fast and furious is creating a life that's out of control. A life that you don't take time to listen to. Celebrating achievement. The joy that goes with knowing you stretched yourself in a positive way and discovered. You learned. That's what discovering is. You learned more about what you can do when you remove the restrictions. Folks, the more you learn about who you are and how to control your life, the more successes there are for you in life. So, I want to offer you 11 celebration affirmations that are here to help you understand the power of celebration, to understand the need to pause, to reflect, to take that time to fill your inner reservoir of positive energy, of self-motivation, and about being in control of your life. You ready? Number one, I will make time to celebrate my success. I don't believe that success is ever an accident. I believe that success is the result of you doing the right thing at the right pace, seeing and fulfilling the opportunity. But to do that, you have to take the time to slow down. You see, it's not the big successes in life that really matter. It's the little successes that you celebrate that keep the path clear to experience the bigger successes. Number two, I will examine and remove any behaviors that limit my success. You can't move forward until you step out of and let go of yesterday. Do you understand that so much of our fast and furious that we live by is because of the need to prove ourselves? And many times that need to prove ourselves is because of the limitations we have from what we've taken from yesterday. This is a big part of me, is that I've lived this need to prove that my mother in my childhood was wrong when she told me I was stupid. I had to prove she was wrong. That can create fast and furious. I had to prove she was wrong when she told me I would never amount to anything in life. That can create fast and furious. I had to prove her wrong when she told me I wasn't lovable. And that can create fast and furious. Because you don't have to prove yourself to other people. All you need to learn is that you believe in you, you trust in you, you have faith in you. And I'm going to tell you, that's been a challenging lesson for me to learn. But I do believe in me. I believe I have unique talents. I have unique gifts. I trust that there are people out there that I can help, but not if I'm living fast and furious. Only if I'm taking the time to listen, to look, to learn, to hear. And I believe that I have the faith because of my belief and my trust to know that when I am controlling my life and my life is not controlling me, I bring more value to everything that I touch. So I will examine and remove any behaviors that limit my success. Number three, I will listen to what life is handing me. I believe that your life is always talking to you. But you must choose to listen to what life is saying to you. Do you listen to your life? Do you listen to that inner voice? And we all have the inner voice. It's that truth part of us that says you need to slow down. Do you listen to that? Do you listen to your life when your life asks you, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Do you listen? Life is always talking to you, but you, not other people, you must listen to what your life is saying to you. Number four, I will make no excuses for my behavior. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. If I want to, I can justify Fast and Furious. Did you know that? Did you know that if you want to, you can give yourself reasons to live fast and furious? Huh? I was in a conversation with a gentleman the other day who's contemplating a major redesign of his life. And that redesign means he's going to pick up and he's going to go. And my question to him was simple. In your desire to go, are you running away from what you don't want to face? Or are you moving toward discovering what there is for your life? See, I think all of us can be good at making excuses for our behavior. And you've done it. I've done it. Everybody's done it. We've made excuses for Fast and Furious. We've made excuses for not taking the time to celebrate, for not slowing down in order to enjoy what life is showing us. You see, success demands that I be accountable first to myself and then to others. If you took a real hard look at your life, is that a contradiction for you? Do you ever feel that you're accountable to others more than you are to yourself? I'm going to tell you something. That'll keep you fast and furious. Number 5, I will strengthen my beliefs I have in myself. Without beliefs in yourself, all you have is more doubt to hold you as a hostage. What do you believe about you? Do you believe you're a good person? Does your behavior say that? Do you believe that you have gifts that can bring value to others? Does your behavior say that? Do you use your talents to increase the presence, the positive presence you have in the life for others? Do you really believe in you? Do you trust you? And do you have the faith in you that will allow you to take those risks that keep your life moving toward greater achievement? Without belief in yourself, all you have is more doubt to hold you as a hostage. And you hear me say this. When you doubt, you lose belief. When you lose belief, it's because you've given doubt control of your life. Number 6, I will be resilient and not let life's knockdown stop my moving forward with my life. Life's going to knock you down. See, I'm a person who believes if you don't listen to life, sometimes life will make you listen to you. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I believe that's what happened to me. There were 4 or 5 times that I got off an airplane and I was moving fast to another gate and I would feel this heaviness in my chest. And I would just think it was stress. And when I'd get to the gate, I would sit down and it would go away. You know what that was? That was life talking to me. And it took going in to have my left hip replaced to force me to listen to my life. And in doing that, I opened myself. Life's going to knock you down. And sometimes the knockdowns are because you are fast and furious and you're not listening to life. I will be resilient. I will listen to my life. And if life knocks me down, I'm going to pause. I'm going to reflect. I'm going to look. And I'm going to ask myself, What behaviors caused this in my life? Because most of your knockdowns are because you didn't listen to what you know. It's a fact, not a statement. Life will knock you down, but you can always get up a better person. I think I'm a better person today. Why? Because I understand what fast and furious can do to your life. I understand that life needs improvement. Life needs celebration. And I need to get up every day and celebrate the fact that I have been given another day of life. And I need to celebrate that fact. And I need to do that through my behavior. Number 7, I will always be willing to adapt as necessary. You ever fight change? You ever allow yourself to get stuck in a rut? You ever paralyze yourself in the circle of sameness? There's always a need to adapt. There's always a need to tweak your life. The success journey is never a straight line. You know this. You have to pay attention and be willing to adapt to the terrain. Because the terrain of your life is always changing. But if I'm fast and furious, many times I don't take time to look at the different terrain. I just plow ahead. And in the process, I drain my inner reservoir of self-improvement, of self-motivation. Number 8, I will have enough faith in myself to take the risk necessary to keep the past moving forward. Do you understand that Fast and Furious is not about taking risk, it's about taking gambles? Why? Because a gamble is when you're moving full speed out. You don't take time to study the terrain. You don't take time to listen to your life. You've just got to do more and more. You've got to prove yourself. You just can't take time to pause and celebrate. You can't take time to enjoy your life, because if you take time and celebrate your life, you might miss something. I'll tell you something. So many times the things in life that are there for you to celebrate, you miss because you're fast and furious. Life will always take you in one of two directions: forward or in circles. Number 9, I will continue to invest in myself in order to increase my value to life. Now, some time ago, if I had written this, it would have read a little differently. I will continue to invest in myself in order to increase my value to others. See, and I was living with this concept that Fast and Furious made me more valuable to others because there were so many more opportunities to touch a human life. But if I don't take time to invest in myself, folks, I become stagnant. If I don't take time to invest in my life, my relationships become stagnant. If I don't take time to invest in my life, I lose my passion. I lose my interest. I trap myself in where I've been and don't allow myself in my life to discover where I can go in my life. Growth is what brings light to today. Without growth, you live in a dark room with no film to process. Why? Because you're not increasing your value to yourself. This is your life to develop, to discover, to live, to improve. Every day to sharpen who you are. Number 10, I will take the time to examine the opportunities that come my way. You understand? Because we've said it over and over. And fast and furious, you're going to miss the opportunities. And then you're going to question why you have this roadblock in your life. You're going to question why you don't seem to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Opportunities create the pathway to achievement. Opportunities open up the creative side of your mind. You demonstrate with what every situation means through your life, through your behavior. My friend, how many opportunities have you missed because of fast and furious? And you've talked to yourself about, man, if I'd only paid attention. Fast and furious is the pathway to self-destruction, not growth. Not time to live with maintenance. But it's where you retreat. It's where you self-destruct. And then number 11, I will continue to challenge my life and refuse to give up. Do you know what fast and furious does? It wears you down. You know what happens when you get worn down? You lose energy. What happens when you lose energy? You lose desire. What happens when you lose desire? You lose your determination. What happens when you lose your determination? You're no longer disciplined with what you know you need to be doing, and you create your life for clutter. You create your life for roadblocks. You create your life for detours. You create your life for self-destruction. So I will continue to challenge my life. I'm going to find the more, not for other people, but for me. I am going to continue to search for the challenges that are there for my life. Because as I accept the challenge, as I step into mental creativeness, I open my life. And what do? I fill that reservoir of self-motivation. So when something comes and it looks like an obstacle, because I have that inner strength, I have that inner belief, I have that trust, I have that faith, I have that self-motivation, I refuse to give up. You see, folks, that's what this day is all about. It's about celebrating. It's about hanging in when things get tough. It's about finding the pathway to personal achievement. It's about understanding the power of celebration. Can I help you with this? I've done a series of books, there are 4 of them, that are my building block series. One deals with life. One deals with customer service. One deals with controlling stress. And one deals with relationships. It deals with life. My Christmas present to you, I would like to offer you these 4 books, plus the gift of the greatest book I've ever written, Behavior Never Lies. I'd like to offer you these for a holiday special of $39.75. And go to my homepage on my website, richardflint.com. Just scroll down and they're there. Folks, when a relationship is out of control, there's nothing to celebrate. You may know somebody who needs to learn to celebrate their relationship. When you don't feel good about you, what you offer to other people is not customer service, it's your reaction. You may know some people who are struggling with their belief in their self. Well, when stress controls your life, you aren't you. So there's nothing to celebrate. You may know some people who are overstressed right now. And what about just strengthening your life? These would be great for your library, but they might also be some great gifts for other people. And I'm going to give you a copy of Behavior Never Lies with these. Just scroll to the homepage, richardflint.com, scroll down, and it's there. Now, I want to get you to mark your calendar. Our next webinar is going to be in January. And it's going to be January the 9th at 10 a.m. And I've set this for January because I see this as one of the most important things you need to learn. Facing the number one obstacle in your life, you. How many times in 2019 have you gotten in your own way? How many times have you made your life difficult because you got in your own way? So on January 9th at 10 a.m., I want to give you the formula for getting out of your own way. And then I want you to mark your calendar for our small couples retreat. Because what we're going to be doing there is we've had to move the date. Because in moving the date, we had to because of they wouldn't let me be back on the road January the 8th. So the PGA Resort and Spa has been gracious enough to move our date to Valentine's weekend. What a great time to celebrate tweaking your relationship. And that's the theme of our couples retreat. It's tweaking your relationship. It's not about changing your relationship. It's not about counseling you in your relationship. It's simply all about tweaking. What does that mean? It's about taking some of those most constant things that wear on the relationship and learn how to tweak them. Do you think relationships need tweaking? I do. So February 13, 14, 15, 16, Valentine's weekend. Hey, what a great time. Valentine's weekend, tweaking your relationship in South Florida where it's going to be warm. If you go to richardflint.com, it gives you all the information. Now, I want to say this to you because I don't want it to scare you. The investment is $3,500 a couple. Now, before you go, whoa, learn what that includes. It includes your hotel. It includes your breakfast. It includes your dinner. And by the way, it includes everything except your transportation to get to South Florida and your lunch. Everything else I am paying for. So there's no excuse. How much is your relationship worth? And then I want to remind you of Star Maker, July 17, 18, 19, again at the PGA Resort in South Florida. And I'm going to remind you, this is our 30th Star Maker, and this is going to be our last Star Maker, 30 years. And I've chosen the theme because I can. Because I think this is something that all of us need to bring to the foundation of your life. It's not that I could. It's not that I should. What is it? It's about the fact that I can. Mark these dates on your calendar, and I'm going to remind you of what I said to you earlier. April 28th through May 3rd, decluttering your clutter. You think that might be of interest, but it's limited to 15 people. Just like the couples retreat is limited to 15 couples. I hope you'll make yourself one of these. I hope that as we end this, I hope you understand the power of celebration. I hope you understand the need to get out of fast and furious and to slow your life down and take time to replenish your inner reservoir of self-motivation, of encouragement, of passion, of belief. Make sense to you? Again, I would love to hear from you. Any comments, any thoughts? And by the way, if there are topics you think would be good for us to cover in these webinars, I'd love to hear from you. It's real simple, richard@richardflint.com. I'd love to hear about your takeaways from today. What did you hear? What did you learn? And can I also wish you a very, very Merry Christmas? What a great time of year. A time to celebrate, and it's more than just giving presents or getting presents. It's about celebrating the real meaning of Christmas. And to me, Christmas is about the fact that God loved us enough that he gave us his son. And because of that, we can have life eternal. That's a belief that I have. It's a trust that I have. It's where I get my faith. It's my foundation of who I am. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you in January.